U.S. bans all home routers from China. This is a big deal because most electronics come from China. There is a worldwide helium gas shortage. Not sure if you've heard about this, but it's a big deal. And we have an AI robot attacks a bus stop. This is serious. It's we got the robot wars beginning. This is current events. March 30th, 2026. This is the foundation where we understand incorrect information incorrectly applied can get you hurt. Excuse me. Correct information incorrectly applied can get you hurt. So as always, we are correctly applying correct information here at the foundation. I am Sot L, seeker of truth L, speaker of truth L. I just want to get into this. I'm sorry. I'm in a hurry. Not in a hurry to get this finished, but in a hurry to get this information to y'all. This is crazy. But first and foremost, as always, please check out welcometothefoundation.com. Sign up for the email list. We are doing some great promotions, and it's only for email subscribers. Unfortunately, we appreciate the YouTube followers. We always do something for y'all. I'm gonna just be honest, but this is just for the email subscribers. So we're just gonna leave it at that. Let's jump into silver. Silver looks like it's trading a little sideways around $70 or so. As we always say here, dollar cost average $20, $50, $100 every 2 weeks, every month. Just go buy what you can in silver. Go to a We Buy Gold spot or a coin dealer. If you can get it off online. That's not very private. If you want people to know, specifically the government, that you have precious metals, that's fine. But that's your personal situation. Oil tops $160 after Trump says he wants to take the oil. In Iran and Houthis enter the war. Currently holding a press briefing, as it seems. Oil prices, you like that? Oil prices rose today with Brent crude crossing $116 a barrel after comments by U.S. President Donald Trump and strikes against Israel by Iran-backed Houthi rebels deepen fears that the Middle East conflict may escalate further. And this is going to be 4 days. It was going to be 7 days, a military operation. It's not a war. This is what, the administration was saying, the United States administration. This is dragging on further and further into the future. Brent crude, the global oil benchmark, rose $116.05 a barrel before powering those gains to trade at $114.06. This is 1.8% increase on the day. Trump told the Financial Times in an interview published Sunday that he wants to take the oil in Iran and could seize Karg Island, which handles about 90% of the country's oil exports. He compared the potential move to U.S. operations in Venezuela, according to the Financial Times, that's FT, where the United States intends to control the oil industry indefinitely, following its capture of authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro in January. Haven't seen or heard from that guy since. This is just going to keep going. Trump issues new warning to Tehran, calls U.S. peace proposals unrealistic. And that's Iran saying that peace proposals are unrealistic. President Donald Trump warned today that Iran's energy plants and oil wells would be obliterated if it did not open the Strait of Hormuz after Tehran described U.S. peace proposals as unrealistic and fired waves of missiles at Israel. Israel's military said 2 drones from Yemen had also been intercepted on Monday, 2 days after the Iran-aligned Houthis entered the war by firing missiles at Israel, and that Lebanon's Hezbollah had fired rockets at Israel. Man, Israeli forces carried out missile strikes on what they call military infrastructure in Tehran, and infrastructure used by Iran-backed Hezbollah in Beirut, leaving black smoke hanging over the Lebanese capital. Tehran remained defiant in the month-old war, which began with U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran in February 28th and has spread across the region, killing thousands, disrupting energy supplies, and hitting the global economy. The majority of those reported killed were in Iran and Lebanon, and many were civilians. Iran confirmed today the death of Revolutionary Guards Navy Commander Alireza Tangsiri, the latest of its leaders killed, including Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who has been replaced by his son Matoba Khamenei. The Iranians have effectively blocked the Strait of Hormuz, which is tripping. The oil prices out, just making them go crazy vertical. Let's move forward. U.S. airlines face fuel-driven financial shakeout. You're going to see airlines get bought up, maybe go out of business, so on and so forth. The latest price spike could become the first financial stress test for U.S. airlines since the pandemic, with weaker carriers more likely to shrink, borrow, or absorb deeper losses, while stronger rivals keep investing and gaining market share. In Europe and parts of Asia, the Iran war's impact has already appeared in route disruptions, flight cuts, and downgraded outlooks. United is preparing for the worst. Kirby said the airline is modeling Brent oil as high as $175 a barrel and remaining above $100 a barrel through 2027. Brent was trading around $112 Friday. It's at $114, they said today. I haven't checked it, but let's move forward. If you're planning on flying anywhere, you're going to be paying a little more. Oop, they try to do it to us. You know what we do. Americans are growing more pessimistic about the U.S. economy because even wealthy Americans are souring on the economy as gas prices spike and stocks fall. As the war with Iran continues to roil markets, the sentiment is falling across all income groups, including the wealthiest. Consumer sentiment declined 6% this month to a final reading of 53.3, the University of Michigan said Friday. A steeper drop than the one reported earlier this month when the war had just started. Sentiment is now at its lowest point since December. Friday's level was lower than the 54.2 reading that economists projected in a poll by data firm FactSet. The Middle East conflict has pushed up global energy prices for the last month, prompting major U.S. stock indexes to whipsaw as investors look for signs that it may end soon. President Donald Trump says the administration is engaged with talks with Iran. The wealthiest are feeling the crunch, is basically what that's saying. Everything you need to know about the foreign-made router ban in the U.S. The FCC just banned the sale of new consumer-grade Wi-Fi routers manufactured outside the U.S. The Federal Communications Commission has banned new consumer internet routers manufactured outside the U.S., citing national security concerns. This includes China. The ban doesn't affect any routers already in American homes or currently on sale in the U.S., but all new routers aimed at the consumer market will need to be approved. While the headline is that foreign-made consumer routers are banned, manufacturers can apply for exemptions. There's no need to throw out your router, and you'll still find plenty of mesh systems in the store shelves. But what does it mean for you? Malicious actors have exploited security gaps in foreign-made routers to attack American households, disrupt networks, enable espionage, and facilitate intellectual property theft. Foreign-made routers were also involved in the Volt, Flax, and Salt Typhoon cyber attacks targeting vital U.S. infrastructure. This is the FCC. Foreign-made consumer routers were added to the covered list, which details equipment and services deemed to pose an unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States. Wow. Bogdan Batazatu. I tried, y'all. I'm not going to try again. Director of threat research at cybersecurity firm Bitdefender says this ban is a step to harden the cybersecurity readiness of U.S. households, given ongoing geopolitical tensions. Quote, consumer routers sit at the edge of every home network, which makes them an attractive target and a strategic risk if compromised at scale. End quote. Asked whether he thinks the risk is real, Batazatu says yes, though there's no easy way to prove intent. Quote, the Internet of Things or IoT devices, including routers, are a weak point across the Internet. The ban only affects the sale of Wi-Fi routers aimed at consumer households. The ban does not apply to existing FCC-approved routers on sale in the U.S. Previously purchased routers already in U.S. homes across the country are also fine and are not part of the ban, according to the FCC's fact sheet. These routers can continue to be sold, used, and updated with new firmware. Any new router manufactured outside the U.S. now requires FCC approval before it can be imported, marketed, or sold in the U.S. This includes routers from U.S. companies that are manufactured overseas, which is the vast majority of the market right now. So look to see increases in costs, these exemptions, these applications for exemptions that these companies, it's going to cost them money. It may cost a fee for the application itself. There's going to be increased regulation with regards to these types of electronic devices. So there's going to be increased scrutiny, and that increased regulation, increased scrutiny increases costs all the way through the supply chain. So if you have electronics, do your best to take care of them, treat them well, because I think we're going into an age where we're going to be looking to get the longest life out of all our devices, out of all our items, out of all our clothes, all, cars, trucks, all of that stuff. Helium shortage has started impacting tech supply chains. See, it's a lot of things affecting tech. Tightened supply of helium due to the Middle East conflict has started affecting some production in the global tech supply chains, leaving companies scrambling to secure alternative supplies, and industry executives said. Helium, from what I understand, I'll read this, but I don't read these. I don't read none of this stuff. I just grab the headlines, and y'all can probably tell by all the mistakes that I make while I'm reading. But helium is used to cool certain machines and manufacturing components that create these very small, chips and nanometers and all this stuff. Oh, wait. Helium is used in several key stages of chip making, including cooling, leak detection, and precision manufacturing processes. And its prices have soared since the Middle East crisis. I could have just kept reading. My fault, y'all. The supply of helium, a byproduct of natural gas processing, is highly concentrated geographically, with Qatar producing nearly 1/3 of the world's supply, according to data from the U.S. Geological Survey. Did Qatar go offline? Quote, a helium shortage is an absolute concern. This is Cameron Johnson, senior partner at supply chain consultancy Tidal Wave Solutions. He said companies had few immediate options beyond slowing output and prioritizing critical products, adding that many were hoping for a quick resolution. Prolonged shortages could force production cuts and ripple through industries from electronics to automobiles. That's a big thing, y'all. That's a big thing. Chocolate products recalled over hidden drugs tied to life-threatening blood pressure drops. What? There's drugs in chocolate? A nationwide recall has been issued for 2 chocolate products after they were found to contain undeclared prescription drug ingredients. California-based Gear Isle is voluntarily recalling certain units of its Gold Lion aphrodisiac chocolate, man. And the Ilum sex chocolate, man. You should have known off the top. They're tripping. After testing revealed the presence of sildenafil. Sorry about that. Someone's trying to text me. What is this? Sildenafil. That was 4 times. And tadalafil. Active ingredients commonly used in erectile dysfunction medications, man. The products were sold online across the U.S. and marketed as dietary supplements. The FDA warned that the undeclared ingredients could pose serious health risks, particularly for people taking nitrate medications for heart conditions. The combination can cause sudden and potentially life-threatening drop in blood pressure, man. Quote, among the adult male population who are most likely to use these products, adult males who use nitrates for cardiac conditions are most at risk from these products, the announcement noted. Watch the chocolate, y'all. They got drugs in the chocolate. They got cocaine and fentanyl found hidden inside Barbie doll packaging sold to customers, man. Come on, man. Investigations reportedly found cocaine and fentanyl hidden inside Barbie doll packaging that had been sold to multiple unsuspecting customers in Missouri last weekend. The incident occurred on March 21st after discount retailer Cargo Largo reported finding a suspicious powder substance in the packaging of the dolls. Officials determined that 5 compromised units were sold, but were able to recover all of the affected items within hours of launching an investigation at approximately 10:18 a.m. this morning. IPD was contacted by Cargo Largo Security regarding a suspicious powder substance located in the packaging of a Barbie doll. The retailer added in a statement that while initial tests indicated the presence of fentanyl, additional tests confirmed that the substance was cocaine with trace amounts of fentanyl. No injuries were reported. The substance was discovered taped inside the back packaging of the dolls, man. The retailer added that they identified the source and shared all relevant information. Wow. Trafficking is crazy. America's long-haul truckers were already struggling. Then came $5 diesel. You're going to see prices increases across the board. I believe that April is the month where we really see the effects of, this military operation in Iran. Last year was a tough one for Jamie Hagen's South Dakota trucking company, Hellbent Express. He was thinking about shutting down. His cash drained in the lean years that followed America's post-pandemic shopping spree, but he refinanced his equipment, wagering demand would pick up and freight rates would rise again. Quote, "We started seeing some real progress. There was a lot of hope," he said. Then the Iran war started. Diesel, the largest day-to-day expense in trucking, has jumped 41% since the start of the war to a national average of $5.38 a gallon. It's crazy. The rise in oil prices is rippling through the U.S. economy. Gas prices have jumped for drivers, and grocery bills may soon rise. Ain't no may. They will. Small fleet owners like Hagen and independent owner-operators are hit hardest by the oil spike in the for-hire trucking industry. They typically own their rigs, pay for fuel and maintenance, and find freight on the volatile spot market where shippers post one-off loads for carriers to transport. Small truckers aren't making money fast enough for these rates to cover their higher diesel costs. This is just the beginning. Dow closes in correction. S&P logs longest weekly losing streak in 4 years. This is the headline from last week. The U.S. stock market entered correction territory. Y'all should research what correction and crash means. There's a correction, market corrections, market crashes. Those two things. Because correction is a big deal. Let's get into this. Here's the video. Look. Yo, the robot wars. Oh, look. Oh, you see that? It just tore through the bus stop. This is an autonomous robot. Going through a glass panel. This is in Chicago. This is pretty recent. We got another one over here. We got delivery robots keep crashing into bus shelters. And if I'm going to be honest, this is kind of clickbait. I'm just going to say, they're having issue coding the robots to recognize see-through glass, especially on sidewalks. They've had this problem in malls, with these robots as well. But food delivery robots are struggling to steer clear of Chicago's bus stop shelters. Within just 48 hours, 2 autonomous couriers from different companies veered off course and collided with shelters, shattering glass and alarming nearby residents. These pair of dramatic incidents come amidst brewing tension among the community members and lawmakers in Chicago who oppose the robot's presence. The crashes also come just weeks after one of the manufacturers announced it was integrating a new mapping system trained on Pokemon Go data, which is designed to improve navigation accuracy. I told y'all they use that Pokemon Go game to train their AI, and the AI is now breaking the bus shelters. Y'all be safe out there. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It's very important. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.